Howard Phillips Lovecraft here at the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival with noted author Scott Nicolay, also the host of Outer Dark Podcast, where you interview all sorts of luminaries in the field of weird fiction. I thought perhaps now would be my chance to interview you.
You know, we've had a long relationship.
Yes, indeed, we have.
Most of my life. I first encountered your work when I was 7 years old. Which was 1970. One of my uncles, who actually lived in Massachusetts, near the area where the story is set, brought me a scholastic book that included the Dungeons of Horror. And I read that story, and I would say it changed my life. And people may not think that because of some of the things that you said about you.
Yes, recently you have been a little curt, shall we say?
I confess I have, and I feel I have my reasons, but that story, you were the first author whose work I began to seek out by name. That story remains, I would say, my first story. And I've reread that piece of fiction more than any other story, any other piece of fiction. I've gone back to it, unpacked it, studied it. It was that story that taught me the importance of atmosphere. And your work has had an immense importance to me, everything I've done since then. I feel it's time for me to part ways.
Well, that's part of growing up.
Indeed, and maybe it's time for me to do that. You know, as time has gone by and I've learned more about who you were, and some of the things that you said and wrote, and the extent to which those things are integral to your work, I feel it's time to move on, go in a different direction. I feel it's time for the weird to go.
Well, Mr. Nicolay, I think with people like you leading that direction, the weird can only find new and stranger breeding grounds. It's been a joyous ride.
It has.
Indeed. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.